Mama Selena for African Daisy, and it's Wednesday in the Word. So let's jump in here in Revelations 12. Yes, because I like Revelations. Revelations is very fascinating. It says here, and a great sign, a warning of the ominous and frightening future event appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon beneath her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was with child, the Messiah, and she cried out, being in labor and in pain to give birth. Then another sign of warning was seen in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon, Satan, with 7 heads and 10 horns on his heads, were 7 royal crowns or diadems. And his tail swept across the sky and dragged away a third of the stars of heaven and flung them to the earth. And the dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that when she gave birth, he might devour her child. And she gave birth to a son, a male child, who is destined to rule, shepherd all the nations with a rod of iron. And her child was called up to God and to his throne. Then the woman fled in the wilderness, where she had a place prepared by God, so that she would be nourished there for 1,260 days, 42 months, 3½ years. And war broke out in heaven. Michael, the archangel, and his angels waging war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought, but they were not strong enough and did not prevail, and there was no longer a place found for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, and the age-old serpent, who's called the devil and Satan, who continually deceives and seduces the entire inhabited world, he was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now the salvation and the power and the kingdom, dominion, reign of our God and the authority of his Christ have come, for the accuser of our believing brothers and sisters has been thrown down at last. He who accuses them and keeps bringing charges of sinful behavior against them before our God day and night. And they overcame and conquered him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their testimony. For they did not love their life and renounce their faith even when faced with death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them, in the presence of God. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has come down to you in great wrath, knowing that he only has a short time remaining. And when the dragon saw that he was thrown down to the earth, he persecuted the woman who had given birth to a male child. But the 2 wings of the great eagle were given to the woman, so that she could fly into the wilderness in her place, where she was nourished for a time and times and a half, and a time 3½ years, away from the presence of the serpent, Satan. And the serpent hurled water like a river out of his mouth after the woman, so that he might cause her to be swept away with the flood. But the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the river, which the dragon had hurled out of its mouth. So the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went off to wage war on the rest of her children, her seed, those who keep and obey the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus, holding firmly to it and bearing witness to him. Wow, that is so beautiful. Even when we're talking about this season of Christmas time, one of the things that I just want to mention here, it says, now this verse here, 12:10. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now the salvation and power and kingdom, dominion and reign of our God and the authority of his Christ have come, for the accuser of our believing brothers and sisters has been thrown down at last. He who accuses them and keeps bringing charges of sinful behavior against them day and night. It says that, right? Satan is the accuser of the brethren, right? He's accuser of the believers. And they overcame and conquered him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their testimony. And they were not afraid of death. Therefore, rejoice. Because the devil, and then it talks about how he's come down, and he's very willing to destroy everybody in his path, right? But we've already overcome. In other words, we already have someone in that. Christ came on the cross, died on the cross and rose again, took back death, hell, the keys from death, hell, and the grave. He took it back and he's standing right in the blood of the Lamb every time he comes to accuse us. And you know where he goes? To Jesus and to God. It's just so interesting to me. He goes there to accuse us. And he says, and Jesus looks at him and says, you see this blood here? Yeah. We've already overcome. We can overcome. We are overcomers, more than overcomers. So anyway, I just want to encourage us in that. This is a really interesting, Revelations is so fascinating. But even as we move on towards the Christmas season, let's, now we're going to look into his coming to this earth and the reason he has come. So anyway, I hope that you're all having a great week. Miss Chewy Chews and I are going to go out and do a few things today. And as we prepare for Christmas. So anyway, yeah, as you can see in this room, it doesn't look like it's very Christmassy in here. So I got to do some things in this room. But I did a few things. I love this drink station thing. I really do. I like it. I added some stars and some rosemary because it's kind of looks like pine needles. So anyway, I hope that you're having a great week. I love you all and I'll see you the next one. Bye.